Ben Beaton here. We're looking at one of my works from the Boyce Gardens residency. It's called Nothofagus Locations and Peripherals. It's one of my limited edition prints. Across the work are scanned and drawn plants of the Boyce Gardens. The work is balanced between pictorially dominated maps. There's a number of them in there. There's various layers of these maps. Now the first map, which occupies the entire picture plane, is yellow and red. It's a form of spatial dissemination, and what I mean by that is that it breaks up the space of a picture plane in a different kind of way. You know, it creates new spaces and shapes that are unexpected, that aren't in my control, or only to a degree. Sort of like the ink flows and the pen follows. When you let ink just bleed across your paper, it's going to do things that you can't control, and you can modify that to a degree and tweak it, and from that you can get some kind of key moment. And the map does the same thing in a different kind of way, I guess. Now what the map is about is the proliferation of flowering plants from their origin in South America / Africa in the Rift Valley, through Gondwana, and finally into Australia. The second map is circular. It displays the southern continents as they are today. The light yellow areas mark out current locations of Antarctic Beech. This is Nothofagus, and these trees were once widespread throughout Gondwana, and it's believed they once grew across Australia as well, or many locations across Australia. And the faint silhouette behind much of the work is canopy shot from a forest dominated by Nothofagus in Lamington National Park on the Green Mountains that's on the border of New South Wales and Queensland. The bottom right corner displays an image of a giant amphibian called Koolasuchus. I believe it's one of the it's called, from memory, temnospondyl amphibian. Yeah, the Koolasuchus. Anyway, that's this particular species. It lived about 137 to 112 million years ago, and it's kind of common, well, quite widespread across the globe. But due to competition, it's believed, with crocodiles, they were restricted to the South Polar region, of which Australia was then a part. As the climate cooled further, they became extinct, it is believed. Now the top middle section of the work features a scan of flowering part of a flame tree, and the diagram directly above this it displays the biomass of various groups of animals. It was yes. To the left of this is a map that marks out the volcanoes of Toowoomba, and the map in the square to the right illustrates the topography of the landscape between Toowoomba and Brisbane. The map in the top right corner illustrates the structural elements, and to its left is a map showing some of East Queensland's volcanoes, and the numbers that I put in there, they indicate the age of the volcanoes. Some acknowledgements. Greening of Gondwana by Mary White, Geology of Australia, Dr. Mary Playford from Queensland Museum and Professor Edwin Willey.